Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back again today with another fantasy mock draft video. Today we're doing it on Fantasy Pros, and we are doing a 12-team PPR draft from the second pick. The roster consists of one quarterback, two running backs, two receivers, a tight end, a flex, kicker, defense, and six bench spots. Before I get in the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please go down below and click that subscribe button, click the notification bell to get notified for my videos that I release every single day. So we're going to get right into the draft here right now. Before I make my pick, though, I do want to talk about how Tyreek Hill is not getting a suspension. So now Tyreek Hill is going to probably be going in the second round. That came out today. The video you guys are going to be watching will come out on Saturday, but I'm recording this Friday night. The ADP is not shifted yet, but likely you're going to see Tyreek Hill go from a pick that you can make Tyreek Hill, the 38th receiver, gonna fly up to like the back half of the first round or the beginning of the second round type of pick. So it's our pick, and the first player picked Alvin Kamara. Now, typically, you're gonna be seeing Saquon, Zeke, McCaffrey, or Kamara go as the first pick in the draft. Normally, it's either Saquon or Ezekiel Elliott, but obviously that person picked Kamara, so we're gonna go with my favorite number one pick, and that would be Saquon Barkley. On even though there's quite the shitty offense, Daniel Jones, Eli Manning, not the greatest quarterback, but Saquon can still get it done. And he proved last year that he could do it, so that's why I'm pretty confident going with him at the 101. Also Zeke, there's potential for him to hold out and stuff, and that kind of scares me, so that's why I want to go Zeke here. And I'm more confident with Saquon now, so I'm going to go Saquon Barkley. Okay, so now we're going to move our eyes down here to the draft board. So after Kamara's picked, we picked Barkley, followed by Le'Veon Bell, Ezekiel Elliott, Christian McCaffrey, Melvin Gordon, David Johnson, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce, Michael Thomas, Julio Jones, Odell Beckham, James Conner, Joe Mixon, Juju Smith-Schuster, Antonio Brown, Damian Williams, Todd Gurley, Dalvin Cook, George Kittle, T.Y. Hilton. So normally around back here, like I said, is where Tyreek Hill is going to go. Pretty normally, he'll probably go ahead of a guy like AB, so maybe where Juju was picked right here, or where AB was picked, maybe his landing spot. So right now, two of the big three tight ends have went. Normally, you're going to see the big three tight ends, which is Kelce, Kittle, and Ertz go in the first three picks. So currently, mostly running backs have went, but still a bunch of receivers and tight ends have went. So it looks like here the running back position is not too bad. Now, normally I would probably go receiver in this slot to secure Mike Evans or Keenan Allen, but I do want to go Nick Chubb here due to the fact that normally he doesn't fall this far, and you're trying to draft off of the value, and the value you get from drafting Chubb at the back of the second, when typically you're going to be getting him in either the middle or the beginning of the second round, is huge value here. Now, a lot of people worry about Nick Chubb due to the fact that Kareem Hunt is now on the Cleveland Browns. Well, he's been on the Cleveland Browns for a while, but he's a new member of the team, and a lot of people are worried that Kareem Hunt is going to steal Chubb's carries. Now, if Chubb does what he did last year and plays great, then there's 0% chance that the Browns are going to take Chubb completely out of the game once Kareem Hunt gets back. They may split carries when he gets back, but Chubb will still be a great running back there. And if you're worried about fucking Chubb being shit in the playoffs, you're not going to make the playoffs if you make a stupid pick here and don't pick Chubb, who's a lot less risky than guys like Leonard Fournette, Dalvin Cook, other guys around this area, and Todd Gurley. So that's why we're gonna go Nick Chubb here. Hopefully Mike Evans falls to us. And after we went Nick Chubb, Mike Evans went followed by Zach Ertz. So like I said, the big three tight ends have went in the first three rounds. Like I said right here, Kittle, Ertz, and Kelce. Now Mahomes is still on the board. Typically in your at-home draft, you're going to see Mahomes go in probably the first two rounds. Likely he won't fall all the way down here to the third, depending on how good the players are in your league. Now, if you're in a higher skilled league, then you're going to see Mahomes probably fall to the third, fourth, fifth round. But if you're in a not as competitive of a league, you're going to see Mahomes go the first two rounds, maybe even top 10 pick. Something you could see happen due to the fact that a lot of people view quarterbacks highly. With that being said, we're obviously not going him. We're going with Keenan Allen here, the best receiver on the board, a guy who could end up being pretty fucking great this year. I would have preferred to get Mike Evans. I think he's probably going to be better than Keenan Allen this year. But getting Keenan Allen here isn't too bad on such a great offense like the Chargers. So we're going to go with Keenan Allen here. Keenan Allen had a great year last year. So after we went Keenan Allen right here, Mark Ingram went, followed by Amari Cooper, Adam Thielen, Patrick Mahomes went in the third, Julian Edelman, Josh Jacobs, Devonta Freeman, Aaron Jones, Leonard Fournette, AJ Green, Marlon Mack, Stephen Diggs, Robert Woods, Kerryon Johnson, Evan Ingram, OJ Howard, Brandon Cooks, Tyreek, Derrick Henry, DJ Moore. Like I said, Tyreek not going to go in the fourth anymore. Probably going to end up in the first or second round. So it's our pick. And the running backs, all of the running backs that I would have wanted to pick with this pick are gone. A guy like Kerryon, a guy like Freeman, a guy like Mack, a guy like Josh Jacobs, typically do fall to you. Not typically, but could fall to you in the fourth in certain drafts, but they're not here now. So we're going to be looking towards the receiver position. So Kenny Galladay, Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin, Tyler Lockett, Alshon Jeffrey are the receivers you'd be looking at. And if you wanted to go tight end, Hunter Henry, Jared Cook, Eric Ebron, David Njoku are the kind of guys that are available. And the quarterback position, I think all of them are available except for Mahomes. Then when you're at home draft, this may also not be there. A guy like Andrew Luck, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers may have already been taken before the back of the fourth round. But with that being said, we're not going quarterback anyways. We're going to go with Kenny Galladay here, the best receiver on the board, a guy who, while I think Marvin Jones may finish with a similar year to him, and you can get him at a 4-round discount, I do like Marvin Jones, but I also like Kenny Galladay due to the upside and how well he played last year. And I think that since they now have Hawkinson, a guy that they could also target, that not everyone's going to be keying in on Galladay or Marvin Jones. They have a bunch of weapons, so it is entirely possible that Galladay has a bunch of great games this year, and I feel like he is kind of undervalued at where he's going. He's kind of right here in the fourth, fifth round is where I like him. So he's a pretty solid mid-round receiver. I like a lot of the receivers in the middling rounds. So a guy like Galladay, Godwin, Lockett, Calvin Ridley, Boyd, I'm not upset with getting any of those kind of guys. So we're going to go Galladay here. I think he's the best out of them all. So it's our pick here. So after we pick Galladay, Kupp went, followed by Chris Godwin. So like I always say, you want to make sure to get some running backs because the running backs get very weak, but the receivers don't get as weak as the draft goes on. It seems like there's more depth at the receiver position than there ever has been. So we are going to go with Kenyon Drake now. Typically, I may go with a guy like David Montgomery here for the upside, but I think Kenyon Drake is a lot safer, and I preach to be safe at the beginning of the draft to try to make sure that your guys stay healthy. Make sure you're not drafting guys that are injury prone or have a couple of risks. Like Montgomery has the risks of him not getting the ball in the first couple of games as much as he will towards the end. So obviously, a few weeks in, you need all your players to be playing to make the playoffs. So you need to win every single week. We don't need to win every single game. We need to win most of your games. So drafting some guy in the fifth round that may not touch the ball too many times in the first couple of games obviously is not going to help you at the beginning of the season. While I still do like David Montgomery, that doesn't mean I wouldn't pick David Montgomery here. I just would rather go with someone who's more safe, like Kenyon Drake, who could potentially have a breakout year this year. Guys around him, like Philip Lindsay, not as safe in my opinion. A guy like Sony Michel with the injury, not very safe. Tariq Cohen, who knows about Tariq Cohen? It could be the David Montgomery show. Very confusing. So that's why I want to go with the safer running back in Kenyon Drake. After we went Kenyon Drake, Mike Williams came off the board, followed by Tyler Lockett, Calvin Ridley, Jarvis Landry, Latavius Murray, Allen Robinson, Sammy Watkins, Tyler Boyd, Alshon Jeffrey, Andrew Luck, Philip Lindsay, Deshaun Watson, David Montgomery, Aaron Rodgers, Sony Michel, Christian Kirk, Robbie Anderson, Hunter Henry, Corey Davis, Cook. So, a lot of the good tight ends have been selected. So we're going to see who else is left at the at the tight end position. So guys like Eric Ebron, Njoku, and McDonald are still available. So we are going to probably go running back here and then just grab one of them on the swingity swangity back. So we're going to go with Chris Carson here, a guy who a lot of people say doesn't have. His job's going to get stolen by Penny, all that shit. I mean, I buy that Penny may end up taking his job. But even if he takes his job, he's still going to be getting 50% of the rushes on such a run-heavy team. And I think that that obviously has value. And if Chris Carson can stay healthy, he's going to be a great addition to the team so late in the 6th round. So after we went Chris Carson, James White was selected, followed by Drew Brees. So now it's our pick, and I want to get the tight end that we want. So make sure we can secure a tight end that I actually like. So we're going to reach a bit for Vance McDonald because, no, actually, I think we don't have to pick him yet. I think he will fall to us in the 8th round, hopefully. Now, this could be a fatal flaw because then we're going to be stuck with a worse tight end if this doesn't fall to us. But on the other hand, we get a receiver that I really do like in Dante Pettis. Now, Dante Pettis is a guy that a lot of people in the fantasy community, they're talking him up. They're giving him, like, they're thinking he could be a top 24 guy. Thinking he could be a wide receiver too that you're getting in the 7th, 8th, 9th round potentially in your draft. Now, since a lot of people are talking him up, he's moving up the draft boards. He used to go in like round 9. Now I'm seeing I'm going to have to pick him in like round 7 or 8, like we're at the beginning of the 7th. But picking a guy on a team that should be able to turn it around this year of the San Francisco 49ers, I like my chances with Pettis here, who could potentially be the #1 target on the team. So we're going to go with Dante Pettis here. After we selected Dante Pettis, After we selected Dante Pettis, the Bears defense went off the board, followed by Tariq Cohen, Baker Mayfield, Will Fuller, Geronimo Allison, Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan, Sterling Shepard, Marvin Jones, Golden Tate, Larry Fitz, D.D. Westbrook, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Darius Geis, Kiki Kuti, Curtis Samuels, Tevin Coleman, N'Keal Harry, Ronald Jones. So some picks I want to talk about here. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of the 12 teams have taken their quarterback. Now, like I said before, maybe in your at-home league, maybe 9 or 10 teams have a quarterback at this point in the 7th round, but not in this draft, obviously. So it's our pick right now. We should probably go quarterback, tight end here if we want to make sure we get a guy. Actually, we can wait on quarterback because I don't necessarily want Newton or Wentz. So we can wait a bit and get one more running back and then go tight end. So we want to get a running back who's going to be seeing a lot of touches and a guy that's pretty safe. And I think Lamar Miller is pretty safe. Now, people are talking up his backup, Foreman. People are telling me, ooh, Foreman's going to get, like, Lamar Miller's an old fucking man. I know he's an old man, and he's not really going to flash for you. Yeah, he's not going to flash for you. He's not going to score you 30 points one week, but he's going to be a solid 12 points every single week that you can count on week in and week out. And that's why I like him. Lamar Miller's not a guy I'm starting in my lineup every single week. He's a guy that's going in the flex, or a guy that I'm starting when Chubb is on bye, or when Barkley's on bye. So I'm not too worried about that, about him having to explode every week, because obviously other guys are going to have bye weeks when you're starting a guy who's a lot safer like Lamar Miller, where someone else may be starting a guy like Tariq Cohen, who's going to be up in the air on how he's going to do that week, whereas Lamar Miller is going to be a safe 10, 12 points every single week. So that's why we're going to go Lamar Miller here. After we selected Lamar Miller, Miles Sanders went off the board, followed by Jerick McKinnon. So now it's our pick, and I want to get the tight end that we want to have. Now, Ebron, Njoku, Vance McDonald are still all on the board, and I do like Vance McDonald slightly more than David Njoku. I don't like Eric Ebron, so I'd stay away from him, but we want to make sure that we secured Vance McDonald, and pick him in the 9th round seems to be where he would go, and I don't think we would get him on the back of the 9th when we're picking again, or the back of the 10th, however this shit works. I'm fucking terrible at math right now. So we're to go Vance. So after we went Vance, Foreman went, followed by Darrell Henderson, TK Metcalf, McCole Hardman, Matt Breida, Rashad Penny, Emmanuel Sanders, Paris Campbell, James Washington, Anthony Miller, Michael Gallup, Jordan Howard, Dion Lewis, Tyrell Williams, LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, Eric Ebron, Kareem Hunt, Deebo Samuels, Traquan Smith. So, one guy I want to talk about here, Mecole Hardman. Now, a lot of people were talking Hardman up. They were like, damn, when Tyreek Hill's gone, McCole Hardman going to be a god, right? He's going to do all that work that Tyreek can do. And now, guess what? Now McCole Hardman most likely ain't going to do shit, because Tyreek is, right now, going to be playing week 1 unless something else comes up in the investigation that proves that it was Tyreek Hill who did it. Then McCole Hardman is probably just going to be a useless pick. I picked him in my Scott Fishbowl 9 team, and I regret it now because I know he's probably not going to do shit. So it's our pick. Currently, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs and 3 receivers. So you want to make sure you load up on these running backs and get a lot more running backs than receivers on your team, because you can still get a guy kind of late that I wouldn't mind on my team, but at the running back position you're not going to get that. So right now it's a toss up between Eckler and Royce Freeman. Now, before the news about Melvin Gordon potentially holding out until he gets the contract that he wants or getting traded, I would not. This is a no-brainer. It's Royce Freeman. But now I think that Eckler could potentially be the running back one on that team. So he obviously gets more value right now. Now, if you're watching this video in August, then click off right now and go find one of my more recent videos in that are came out now. Just click on my channel, click the subscribe button, and then go look at all the videos that are now. But as of right now, I don't know what they're doing, what's going to happen to Gordon. So for that reason, I'd pick Eckler here to make sure I secured him if things go shit hits the fan, and Eckler ends up being the one. So after we went Eckler, Sean Hamilton went, followed by Naheem Hines. So at this moment, we should probably go with a quarterback because we don't have a quarterback, and there's still so many available that are good. Cam Newton, Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, Jameis Winston, Kyler Murray, Big Ben Roethlisberger, Dak, Phil Rivers, Lamar Jackson, all guys that I like. I don't really like Carson Wentz or Cam, but even though Cam does have the shoulder injury to worry about, he could still end up being a great quarterback like he was last year. And with such value at Cam in the 11th round, to me it's a no-brainer to pick a guy with such upside in him when I could definitely get a solid backup later in the draft in case Cam Newton does end up getting hurt or not being able to play the week one and they have to play Will Greer. So after we went Cam Newton, Chris Herndon came up the board, followed by Royce Freeman, David Njoku, Jalen Samuels, Trey Burton, Devin Funchess, Dante Moncrief, Rams defense, Austin Hoopa, Ito Smith, Delaney Walker, Peyton Barber, Jamison Crowder, Kyle Rudolph, Greg Olson, Damian Harris, Broncos defense, Carson Wentz, Kyler Murray, Mitchell Trubisky. So now I think we're going to go with one more receiver here and then just go with a backup quarterback because I am not too confident if Cam is going to start week one. So I feel like I may need to secure that backup quarterback. Now, a lot of the receivers that I like are gone, but there's still guys that I do like. My favorite target back here is Robert Foster, a guy who could end up being the wide receiver one on Buffalo. It showed last year that Josh Allen likes targeting him. So I am in favor of picking him due to the fact that he had flashes at the end of last year. It was a solid flex play. I feel like he'd be a solid flex play this whole year. And in games where they're playing against some shitty defenses like the Dolphins, like the Jets, and they have those kind of games 2 times a year. So I'm pretty confident in Robert Foster here. If we went Robert Foster, Jared Goff went, followed by Adam Humph Daddy. So it's our pick, and we're going to go in quarterback. Now, when you're drafting a backup quarterback, you need to make sure that the guy has a different buy than your starting quarterback. So right now, what you would do is you go up to the top. You're like, Cam Newton, what buy is he? He is buy 7. So when you're looking at another quarterback, you might be like, oh, I want Jameis. Jameis is buy 7. So you can't do that. You just cannot do that. So, Big Ben, buy 7. You couldn't do that. Dak Prescott, buy 8. You could go with that. Philip Rivers, buy 12. You could do that. Josh Allen, buy 6. You can do that. So, since I went with Cam Newton, I kind of want to go with a super high upside guy in Josh Allen and pair him with Robert Foster for a potential solid tandem at the to play with my quarterback and my flex. So we're gonna go Josh Allen here, a guy with high upside in my opinion. So after we went Josh Allen, AP came up the board, followed by Famous Jameis, Carlos Hyde, Singletary, Dak Prescott, Big Ben, Kalen Ballage, Giovanni Bernard, Alexander Madison, the cuff to Dalvin Cook, Duke Johnson, bunch of defenses, Philip Rivers, bunch of defenses, Justice Hill, bunch of defenses, RG3. That is stupid. Don't pick the backup fucking quarterback on a team. That's fucking so stupid. I don't even know why they would do that. Okay, so now you're looking at a defense, right? So you're thinking, now you're in the 14th round or the 15th round, you're picking a defense. You shouldn't pick one earlier than that. I explain that in every video. Hopefully that is imprinted into your brain right now. You're thinking, I don't need a defense until the 14th round. So what you're going to do is Google NFL schedule week 1, 2019. Type that shit in Google. You're going to click print that bitch out, bring it to your draft, and figure out who's the easiest schedule week 1 or the easiest opponent week 1 on the offensive side. So, who has a shitty offense? That's the defense you want. Now, the Cowboys have the Giants week 1, and they have a pretty easy schedule. Let me see if I can even pull up their schedule. Yes, I think this is for this season. They got the Giants, Washington, and Miami. Yeah, that's true. So that's pretty easy games to start off with quarterbacks that are going to be throwing picks, guys that you can sack. Even though Saquon may run all over the Cowboys, they're still going to sack Eli. Eli's still going to throw picks, even if it's Daniel Jones. Pick Central Station. So that's why we're going with the Cowboys here. After we went Dallas Cowboys, the New Orleans Saints was picked, followed by Greg the Leg. So we're going to go with the second best kicker, Justin Tucker. And the way you're going to pick a kicker is by finding someone's kicker rankings or by picking a kicker that you like. So, we got a 98 out of 100 ranking for this team. Obviously, that doesn't mean anything. All my teams I draft are A pluses in my mind. And they should all be A pluses in your mind too when you're doing mock drafts. Cam Newton, Saquon Barkley, Nick Chubb, Keenan Allen, Kenny Galladay, Vance McDonald, Kenyon Drake, Dallas Cowboys, Justin Tucker, Chris Carson, Dante Pettis, Lamar Miller, Austin Eckler, and Robert Foster and Josh Allen. So thank you guys all for watching the video. Please click the subscribe button down below. Please click the like button that is somewhere at the bottom of the screen. Click the notification bell to get notified for every video. Now click on one of the videos that's on your screen right now. There should be 3, so click on one of those. And have a great goddamn day. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Thank you guys all for watching. It means a lot. Goodbye, guys.